Navy veteran and Armed Services Committee member, Indiana Senator Jim Banks. Senator, thanks for being with us here today. Let's start with the sincerity of the criticism against this particular action, the double tap strike on narco terrorists. What do you know now from these briefings, from these hearings? What do you know in intelligence? And what does it tell you about how unprecedented this is in America?
Well, the facts speak for themselves. President Trump is doing exactly what the American people elected him to do. He's secured the border, and now he's keeping us safe and stopping this poison from flooding into our country. He's the first president in my life who's been serious about the war on drugs, declaring war on the cartels. And Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is doing a great job, an exceptional job of executing President Trump's strategy to do that. Will, the politics of the matter, I mean, the fact of the matter is that 71% of Americans in a poll this week support President Trump and what he's doing to strike these drug boats and stopping poison from coming into our country. And that's what makes the Democrat position so ridiculous. The American people are on the president's side. They're on Pete Hegseth's side to stop the drugs and the poison from coming into our country. And Tom Cotton, the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, came out of that briefing today and said it was all justified. The attacks on these narco terrorists was justified then, has been justified every day since. And I hope President Trump and Secretary Hegseth keep up the good work and keep doing what they're doing to save the lives of so many American people. Under Joe Biden, we had hundreds of thousands of Americans who died of drug poisonings because of drugs flowing into our country. And Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth are putting a stop to it.
Senator, President Trump has promised to continue this war. In fact, perhaps take it to land. Setting aside the Democrats and the sincerity and the intelligence behind their criticism, there are others who have criticism as well, like a fellow Republican colleague of yours, Senator Rand Paul, who points out that the powers of war reside with the Congress. He points out that if this is going to be an ongoing action and something that escalates, it should be something authorized by Congress. Do you agree with that assessment? And if he's right, would there be the votes for this in Congress?
Well, again, the public support is there. The congressional support should be there as well. But, Will, let's take a step back. The President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, has Article II powers to protect the homeland, to keep America safe, and to stop the poison from coming into this country. He's entirely justified already. We don't need an act of Congress. We don't need a vote in Congress. But if there was a vote, I can't imagine anybody voting against an effort to stop drugs from flowing into our country. President Trump and Secretary Hegseth are doing exactly what the American people gave the president a mandate last November to do, and they're doing it in a very effective way. So we're already seeing the number of drug overdoses in America decline by tens and tens of thousands at this point, and that number is going to keep going down because of these strikes on drug boats and the activities of this military and the Department of War going after these narco terrorists. I'm very proud of what they're doing, and again, I hope they keep it up. I know they will with President Trump at the helm, and I'm going to back him up in every way that I can.
All right. Thank you, Senator Jim Banks.